welcome back to my channel and welcome to my May currently inked where I'm fighting against the sunlight. Maybe, hopefully, there's going to be a bit of a more cloudier situation later on, so we don't have like the weird patterns on the table, but for now, I'm just dealing with it. Okay, for my last few currently inked, I had quite elaborate themes and topics for them, and this month I thought it would be fun if we could do just almost like a screenshot where I'm actually featuring not just the pens and the inks that fit into a theme, but basically everything that I've inked up at the moment, which comes to 10 pens in total. So I won't be doing like the big round swatches this month, but more of a scribbly, maybe with like the ornament nib, maybe some lines or something, so I can fit them all in. So I haven't actually planned how to do this, which order to put them in, because I have received a few like new inks this month, so I've basically the ones I've been most curious about I've put in a pen immediately. Maybe I'll start with pens that I have been inked up, like where it's not quite new anymore. And the first one is my Jinhao 20 in Celestial Jade with a fine nib, and that's inked up with a bain vert leaf. And that's, at this point, I think almost like a permanent pairing. Just put I could do 5 on both sides, I suppose. Oh, let's do that. That's so much more fun. Have I said that I'm prone to changing my mind? Well, that happens all the time. Okay, and I'm using the top of a diamine bottle to swirl things around. So this is a pen I also had in my April currently inked. So it's not very new now. This is my Jinhao 20 Celestial Jade with a fine nib, and that has jade up on. Vert leaf in it. And yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite combinations at the moment. Then the next one that has been in this particular pen for a while is a little freebie pen that I got with an order from AliExpress, and I have no idea which make this is. It has a fine nib in it. It has a clear feed, which is really cool. And ever since I had received it, I've had it inked up just go across here. Get even more fun. With dominant industry, oops, maple. And this is just such a good combination. Again, I'm almost thinking about making it a permanent pairing because it just matches so well. And I'm not strictly a matchy-matchy person. So this one I'm just calling the transparent orange pen fine nib. That's linked up with dominant industry maple. Usually I'm turning the page when I'm writing, so this is a bit awkward, but we're dealing with it. Okay. Just see that I'm well in frame. Let's see. What do we do now? I think we're going to do like a bit of a green new rainbow. So the next pen that I've inked up is from a recent video where I mixed my own baby poop green, and I used Vert Olive for this, and L'Idée also by J. Arbon. And yeah, this is just, I've re-inked the pen twice now. And I'm just really liking it. It might be like a tiny bit more brown than ideal because in the video I put a bit more brown, but I'm still liking it. I need to make sure that I can actually fit 5 splotches on here. Okay, so this is in my Jin Hao 82, and this is the Lily of the Valley colorway. And it also has a fine nib, and this is the custom mix. I called it olive tea because of the 2 parent inks, basically. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, fun. Okay, going with the red theme. The next one I inked up because I wanted to see what the ink looked like is my Jin Hao 82 Mini in the colorway Citrus. And it's actually a really fun pen to use. And what I have in here, if I can find my pipette. I always have the trouble that the pipettes, because they're see-through, they abscond. Where did I put it? Okay, this is ridiculous. Ah, okay. Found it. And this is Diamond Coral. And this is such a bright highlighter orange almost. But it still works for me. I mean, I'm using it primarily for sort of lists and stuff. So this is my Jinhao 82 mini in the citrus. There's also, I don't think it comes in anything but a fine. This is inked with diamine coral. Okay, cool. Wow. Now, where are we going? Okay, I think I'm going to go with, no, wrong pen. So the next more brownie ink is inked in my dense pens. This is the Shelly pen. This is the Neptune model, sort of slightly bulbous at both ends, and it's an abalone resin. And I have this one inked. This one has a 1.1 stub, and that's also the sort of the pen that I'm using for headers at the moment. And I have this one inked with Robert Oster Earth. Might make it work. That's the dense pens Neptune Shelly and a 1.1. This is Oster Earth. I enjoy this nib for headings and stuff, but I'm not sure whether I need another stub nib, let's say. I think one is enough for me. Okay, on the red side, what are we going with now? Okay, let's do the punchy one. On the red side, the next one is Diamond Amaranth. And I have this inked up in my Kaweco Pekio. I didn't jump on the new Luna Kaweco Sports because I have one more Kaweco Sport that I would like to get, but that's all. I don't need any more. But the Pekio I was very curious about. And this is a lovely, really punchy red leaning purple. And it works really well with the Pekio medium nib. Okay, so this is the Kaweco Pekio iridescent pearl in a medium nib. This is diamine amaranth. Yeah, it's a really great color. Okay, just trying to see how I'm going to divvy up the next pens. Which ones because I have 4 more to go. And okay, I think I know what I'm going to do. So for the next one on the left side, we're doing my old trusty workhorse, my Parker Jotter in the red colorway. I don't think there's any specific name for it really, which I inked up with diamine green umber. Again, because I was really intrigued by this ink when I was swatching it, and I just wanted to see it as a pen. And I realized that I hadn't really used the Parker for a while, and I felt bad about it because this used to be the pen that I was writing. This was the manuscript pen basically, and suddenly now there are all these new interlopers and I'm not using it anymore. So that was the reason why I thought let's ink it up for this month. Okay, so this is the Parker Jotter in red with a medium nib, and this is diamine green umber, and it goes down quite blue leaning, but then it softens to sort of a green brownish color, and I really love it for that. Okay, then on the warm side, because that's how it's shaping up to look, I have diamine wilted rose from the ink vent. I think that's the black one, and again an ink that I really wanted to have in a pen. I've played around with it like for sort of art purposes, but I haven't really written with it yet. So I thought we need to change that. So I put it in the pen that I use most often for my journal. This table is a mess of pens off screen, and this is the Black Robin pens. And that's the Grand Ariel model and a medium nib, and the colorway is called Caffeine Withdrawal. It's a Carolina Penco resin, and this is with diamine wilted rose. I've just inked it up and can already tell that this nib is just quite wet, and I think will do this ink justice. Okay, last 2 inks. Just see that I am in frame, so the sunspots are wandering off. And then on the cool side, we are punching now with a Boran Klingner's Blue-Eyed Mary. And I've put this in just it's a transparent yellow Jinhao 82 with sort of a few sparkles, and somehow this sort of mustard yellow against this blue made me happy. And I wanted to have the Blue-Eyed Mary in a pen. So I did it, and it works out really beautifully. And I'm glad that I was influenced to buy a bottle of this, because I think that's one of those inks that doesn't really come through on camera, sort of the true colors of it, like how it's actually in person. It's almost teal leaning. And this is Jin Hao 82, transparent yellow in a medium nib. This is Rohra and Klingner Blue-Eyed Mary, and my handwriting, though never the most readable, is truly atrocious at the end of this page. But that's just how it goes. And then on the warm side, the last ink is going to be Diamine Autumn Oak. And this is in a Jinha, I think this is 996. One of the really cheap models. Only comes in a fine nib. It works really well. And one of the reasons why I have so many more affordable pens is because when I'm writing my novels, I usually do that not at my desk, but somewhere outside in a coffee shop. And I'm not fearless enough to take any expensive pens out into the wild. That's sort of X6, and I think that was called Coffee. And it's a fine nib. And this is Diamine Autumn Oak. And yeah, you can see that the last orders, there were a lot of Diamine inks in there. And I was sorry for it because they're just beautiful. But these are my 10 inks for this month. How? Okay, but this is truly everything that is inked up at the moment. I'm not holding anything back. I'm going to let it dry for a moment and then come back. So we have a few more, like a few wet splotches, but the sun has gone. Yay. Not that I'm complaining, we need the sun. But yeah, I thought because of the way I swatched them across the page, that looks a bit the drying pattern is a bit weird. Okay. Yeah, starting off with J. Urban Verleaf, just one of the most stunning inks. I love it so much. I'm actually thinking that this might be the first bottle that I need to replace. Thankfully, it's part of their standard line. It should be easy to come by, and it's also quite affordable. Then my custom mix olive tea, which sort of works really well for the name, and I also really love it. Like, it has quite nice shading. So I've only started mixing inks like across brands recently. I always feel a bit safer when I do it within the brand. And as I said, this is Verleaf and Lidete, and it's just a nice combination. Then Robert Earth. Unfortunately, you see, even with a stub nib, the redness doesn't really come out in the writing. So I'm a bit sad about that, but it's still a lovely sort of clay color. This sort of definitely earth is a really good name for it, but I think it would be stunning for artwork and stuff. Green umber, it's a bit wet still, but you see sort of fading to sort of a more muted green, and it's stunning. I did not expect to like this much when I bought it. So I've put it in the parka because the parka is actually not very wet. So I thought all the shading, sort of the undertone would come out really well with this pen, and yeah, it really does. Then Blue-Eyed Mary, as I said, doesn't really come across on camera as the true shade. Much more teal, almost turquoisey in person, and wonderful. So glad that I was influenced. Then Dominant Industry Maple, one of my favorite reds again, works really well in the transparent orange pen. I sort of I had it in my Jinhao 10 first, but that just was, this ink was too dry for it. Then Diamine Coral, just such a joyful punch, but it still works for me. I did not think that I had hoped that it was a bit more muted, not as highlightery, but it still works for me somehow. So happy with that. Same for the Amaranth. You can see like the amazing shading that the medium nib of the Picao gives this ink. Yeah, stunning. Diamine Wilted Rose. I'm so glad that I'm trying this in the Black Robin pens because it's a stunning pen. It's a stunning color. It is pink, but really brown pink, and I love it for that. And I think also the nib is definitely juicy enough to make it a very readable brown pink. And then Autumn Oak, it's just one of my favorite oranges, really. So because I don't I might have set myself up for another month of wonderful combinations with nothing to moan about at the end of it, which might be just what's needed at the moment. Let me know what you think. I mean, I'm quite chuffed about how they came out on these pages, and I'm glad that I decided to not jumble them up, but switch them again, like in cool tones and warm tones. And I mean, this sort of goes into the warm a bit. And yeah, I don't know. It still works with the grains. It just tells me that I have like a very specific taste in inks. I think the Blue-Eyed Mary is probably a bit of the outlier, but apart from that, sort of everything works together, and I'm quite a bit. I thought it was much more disjointed, to be honest. And these two, so the Diamine Amaranth and the Blue-Eyed Mary, look really good together. Again, just like a bright, punchy combination. So yeah, that's it for May. It's sort of a freeze frame screenshot of what is actually in all my pens at the moment. I'm finalizing my manuscript, so I'm expecting to sort of more write those dry one by one during May, and maybe even keep them for a bit longer because there's the journal, yes, but so I don't think I'm going to start, at least I haven't planned to start a bigger manuscript very soon, like more smaller pieces. So we'll see what this tolls for my ink consumption. But yeah, it's always very unpredictable. But I'm quite happy with it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you for the review.